all your efforts would have been a huge waste. And that's why you need to pay our fullest attention to the very next session that we are about to bring in. Talking about the resource person who's about to conduct the next session, he is a former area director, champion speaker, multiple award winner for educational and leadership excellence, mentoring club extension and retention chair for Division B and G of District 82. He is a lecturer and a trainer by profession at I Speak Academy, specializing in communication and public speaking. Please welcome on screen distinguished Toastmaster Moditha Sendanayake to educate you all on how to speak to the camera. Distinguished Toastmaster Moditha, over to you.
Thank you very much, Nepa. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. My dear students, ladies and gentlemen, teachers and fellow Toastmasters, very good morning to you and all the igniters. I'm so excited to be with you again and to do this session for your benefit. And I'm sure I'm audible to you and visible. And if you happen to listen to any other background noise, please pardon me, because that is out of my control. It's happening next to my land. So therefore, there will be certain things, but I will do my best to deliver you the best to gain and learn art, or learn the art of how to deliver proper speeches to the camera. Now, I know all of you are doing speeches and sometimes doing conversations with others, but it's a different thing when it comes to delivering something to the camera. During this pandemic time, I know that all of you still are going through series of lectures, school activities through online medium. So let's see how you can do your best to the camera in order to do a fabulous speech to be qualified as a great igniter. Let me share my screen so that we can go through it. Okay, Nepa, can you see this?
Yes, just Master.
All right, so here we go. Speaking to camera. It's really important. Now I am speaking to the camera. So when you are about to speak to camera, because the first and second round will be judged through a series of recorded speeches. And for that, we need to know the art of delivering speeches properly to the camera. I know all of you have gone through this exercise. Still you are going through this. Being at the home and enjoying a breakfast, lunch and dinner and also some other snacks. And if you have time, you are attending your school works as well. No, I was kidding. I know you are 100% paying your attention and giving the maximum to that. So this is the normal way as of now. We are going through a period of pandemic and this has been our new normal. Learning through this virtual platform. Therefore, you have an advantage being the students who are going through this right now. Most of us, if you are not going through this experience, I'll make sure that you will get that experience in a very simple manner. So, first one, I'll be sharing 7 tips. The first tip is knowing your equipment. So, what are the equipment that we do your speech, record your speech, and send it across to the link? There are several equipment. Some people will use a camera, some will use a webcam, normal digital camera, and some people will use a smartphone mounted on top of a tripod, or even somebody can hold it for you. Probably your parent can record it without shaking it, record it and send it. So these are the equipment that we will be using for the Ignite process and things that we need to remember when we use this equipment. Device, what are the devices like camera, webcam, smartphones? We need to check the functionality of this. Just check the functionality, whether it's working, what are the options, how to record, how to stop. Just spend some time on your mobile phone. What is the video quality, how you adjust the video quality of the camera, and how we can get the file out of the camera. Just try to figure this out. Rather than just doing it after the recording, it's better if we can do this in advance and directly go to the recording. So check the functionality and keep the devices fully charged. Sometimes this has happened to me. Sometimes I also used to do certain video recordings, but when I watch the recording again, then I realize, okay, my sound, the volume is not capturing enough and my video quality is low. Therefore, keep the device fully charged and keep it very up. Play with the options and try to identify what are the options of these devices. Most probably, most of you will be using your smartphone. That is the most easiest way. And if you haven't used any digital camera or webcam, any other material, that is fine. Whatever the material that you can use, whatever the equipment that you can use it. And before use it, try to find how to use it. Then it will be very easy for you to when you are doing recording. So tip number 2, dress appropriately. Why it is important? Dress appropriately. Dressing is really important. Now, during this period of time, most of the office staff can be your parents, can be your brothers, elder brothers and sisters, my friends, they started working online. Now, funny thing is, when they started doing these online meetings and online business communications, sometimes they had to wear this suit, just like me, with the tie, sometimes blazer. But when you are preparing these conversations or maybe doing the communications through the camera, it's only the upper body will be appeared. So no point of consideration about the latter part. Therefore, you can wear whatever you want. When you are doing a presentation in the business world. So this is an example for that. Can you see? It's like some people, they were really dressed up in the upper part, but the latter part, nothing. Just like, just like normal way that we are in the home. But in speech contest, you can't do this. We need to give that due respect and seriousness to it. So how we can do a proper dress code is, you have been given guidelines about the dress code. Either you can wear your uniform, appropriate dress. If it is necessary to have a costume, because if it is a part of your speech, you can wear it appropriately. So these are the 3 things that you can wear. And dress appropriately, because it's a speech, it's a serious business. We are delivering a speech, portraying our skills, talents, and there will be a panel of judges who will be looking at you, and you need to show that. So having this dress code, as we mentioned in the guidelines, where you can see from the district 82 page, the guidelines that you have received through the email, what you can dress, why it is important. Dressing appropriately, whether it's very important, whether it's virtual or not. Why? I would like to give 3 P's for that. First P is improves quality of your presentation. It improves the quality of your speech. Without any doubt, it improves the quality of your speech. And number 2, it helps your posture, the way you present yourself. It helps your posture, the dress. The last one helps you to deliver with power. It helps you to deliver your message, the content that you would want to deliver with that motivation, confidence, because you are dressed appropriately. So remember, dress appropriately for your speech, because we are delivering this to the camera. That's the second tip. Now, tip number 3, select the speaking stance. What is the speaking stance? I will give an example. These are 4 speaking positions that you can have for your speech. First one, really nice. Second one, it's also really nice. Now these two students using it like close up. They are coming a bit closer to the camera and having the proper backgrounds and having proper stance. And the latter part, the third and the fourth speakers, tiny little children, and they are having much difference between you and the camera, and they are delivering. So the wider scope will be captured. What are the things we need to consider when we are having a proper speaking stance? Select the most comfortable speaking stance. Here you can stand and deliver. That is what we recommend. When you stand and deliver, you can freely show your expressions. Just like you learned today the importance of having vocal variation and body language. When you have vocal variation and body language, if you have the speaking stance, the stand and deliver method, you can show it just like me. You can show it to the camera and you can move area, the scope, and you can present yourself in a very energetic way. You can show your enthusiasm. That is why it is very important to have a proper speaking stance. So you can see the four photos here. The first speaker, second speaker, third one, and the fourth one. They are using the speaking stance. Either you can have a close-up, or maybe you can just covering the knee and above. That would be okay. So these are appropriate speaking stances. So this is why it is important to deliver properly to the camera. Visibility. This is tip number 4, but I'll be speaking a bit extensively on visibility because it is one of the most important factors when it comes to clear delivery. Common lighting issues. Now, what are the common lighting issues? When you do speech, you will realize there are 4 or 5 issues that are associated with light. Backlit. Now, you are facing the camera and the light is coming behind and your face is not visible. It's coming from behind, or maybe the sunlight is coming behind and your face is not visible. It's dark. So your expressions are not visible. Second one, harsh shadows. There may be shadows generated because of the light. And if it falls in your face, or maybe when you speak, it falls in your face, what will happen? Your facial expressions will not be that effective or maybe that important. It will disturb your facial expression sometimes. Overblown. Overblown is the light source is in front of you, the light is in front of you, and you are just like the heavenly light is coming towards you from the heaven. It's like that. Light is coming from the above, and even your face is, you can't see, the shine is reflecting from your face. So we need to avoid this as well. The fourth one is underlit. Light is not enough. Underlit. So we need to avoid these 4 situations: backlit, harsh shadows, overblown, and underlit. Now you may be wondering, okay, how can we have proper lighting in order to have proper visibility, avoiding all these common lighting issues? Let me tell you, perfect lighting. Can you see any back shadows? No. Can you see any harsh shadows? Is it underlit? Is it overblown? No, it's perfect lighting. So use this perfect lighting. I know we don't have the studios like this, just like some of these people using. We don't have studios at our home, and we don't have this lighting equipment at our home. So you might be thinking, how I am going to do this? Is it possible for me? Yes, of course, it's possible. You have select a suitable location, and you can have a light source right right in front of you, but more towards the above. So that light will reflect on you, avoiding any shadows on the back. So you can see I am using a white wall, which is very clear. Use a white wall if possible, at least a place where less clutter, less disturbances. So this is an ideal example. I'm using this white wall. You can see me. Of course, my face is not that much lightened because I'm using a light source, which is not enough right now. Just setting an example for you as how not to use a light source, but try to use a light source that is in your hand. You don't have to buy or purchase anything. I'm just showing this to you. This is one light source that I'm using. I'm normally putting it behind the laptop when I'm doing a lecture or lesson. So sometimes it gives me the best light quality that it can do. So just like that, use a light source, and it will help you to show your expressions much clearer, show your expressions much stronger, and you can do it very enthusiastically. Again, still we are in the visibility area. The position, height, and angle. Why this position, height, and angles are very important. Now, if you can see me, just look at me in my speaking video. Now, my eye level is directly parallel to the camera. It's in the eye level. I can directly look at you right now. My eyes are aligned to the camera. This is the angle. This is the position. This is the height. Because if your face is not visible and you have to, look at it from down, you can't show your talents. It's very difficult to show your body language. So this is wrong, the left one. It should be parallel. You can be you can be delivering standing, but make sure that your device that you're recording should be parallel to your face. At least it should capture your scope of delivery. This is my scope. If you can see my screen, this is my speaking scope. Identify the scope really well. So this is my topmost area and the bottommost area to my right side. If I do any gestures beyond this, you can't see. This is my rightmost corner. This is my leftmost corner. So after setting the camera or the equipment, try to demarcate the speaking area. Just like the previous video I record, I will go to this previous one. Proper stances. So check the speaking area and the scope covered by the camera properly. Then you know your boundaries, top, left, right, and bottom. And you can move towards this. So after this, having perfect angles, another example, don't look away. And you don't have to just look from above and looking at the camera from the top. Just like the third one, look at very straightly and clearly. Eye contact. Still we are in the tip number 4. It's very vital. Eye contact. Why it is important? Now this kid is doing a presentation, but it's not a speech, but he's directly looking at the camera. You can see from the reflections and also from the screen, he is directly looking at the camera. And the next person, an elderly gentleman, can be your father or a friend, or maybe somebody else, but he is looking at the camera, laptop camera, while delivering the business presentation. Why? When you look at the camera, the people behind the laptop, the audience, who will be logged in from various places in Sri Lanka, and even judges will feel that you are speaking to them. They will feel as if you are speaking to them. You are delivering your message, your body language, your vocal variation will directly come through this, and they will feel as if you are speaking to them. So eye contact is absolutely important. Just look at the camera, find where the camera is, and look at it. Then you can deliver with much focus. Perfect example. This is a good example for an eye contact. It's very parallel to the camera and proper speaking stance. She has covered and having a nice background and directly looking at the camera with a pleasant facial expression. So this is an example for a good eye contact and a stance. So still we are in the tip number 4. Background and other arrangements. I just talk about the background. If you don't have white background, you don't have to paint the wall overnight, or maybe you don't have to do any modifications. That's fine. Find a place which is having these characteristics. Select an appropriate location, room, your living room, a place where you can deliver without any disturbance. Clear wall can be used as a background. It can be green, it can be blue, even it can be lighter color, white, but it should be clear. Make sure the background is not cluttered. Now, sometimes there may be certain chairs or maybe a table, but try to remove if you feel that it will clutter your background. Having clear background will help not only you, but also judges to focus their eye contact and look at your speech very clearly. When you move through your background, they can focus on you really well. So that is the advantage of having a clear background. Avoid windows or mirrors as they could cause reflection and other glares. Sometimes some of these windows, shutters, and some of the items will reflect light, and sometimes even shadows. So to avoid these things, arrange the place before you are recording. It's very important. Arrange the place. Demarcate the boundaries of the speaker frame capture. Just like I mentioned, identify if you are delivering, stand and deliver, you know your upper body will be captured, and sometimes your from knees above you will be captured. You will be going far behind sometimes, and also you know your rightmost corner, leftmost corner, that you need to go to right at this point, you need to go to the left point at this point, and if I go beyond this point, it won't be visible, and my head will be cut off if I go above this. Try to identify. You can just have a picture photo there and check how it's look like, and if record through the recording, you can check through one of your parents or elders how you look like, the way you look like through the camera, the boundaries, the speaking area, that is your speaking area. So this is tip number 4, the background and other arrangements. And one thing, I know some of you are very smart. You have some devices that can be added, that can be utilized to add certain virtual backgrounds. And through the backgrounds, you can even, you will try to decorate your speech, but don't use any virtual backgrounds. If you have any devices that you can add certain backgrounds to your video, please don't do it. It should be very clear, because what this will happen when you add virtual backgrounds. You will look like aliens and sometimes even ghosts. This has happened in real world. These are examples taken by some of the business meetings. I'm just giving some examples from the corporate world for you. It's very odd sometimes. Not sometimes, actually it's very odd. Therefore, try to avoid these things. Don't include any virtual background. Finally, we are going to the tip number 5. After visibility, the audibility is very important. Now, if you go far behind, you sometimes you won't be that much audible to the device. So try, check, plug on your earbuds or maybe headsets, whatever the equipment that you have, use it and check. It can be a headset, maybe earbuds, or any other material. Set up the device, right? Try to set up the device accurately and check the sound, check the quality of sound. Since you are doing this as a record, you have enough time and do certain check and certain comparisons if required, and you can test the device properly. Do a test run. Do a test run. Please do it. Because sometimes even you are very visible to the camera, you might not be audible. Sometimes things will go wrong. Therefore, you need to check these things beforehand and go with that. So be mindful about these devices, especially audio. Tip number 6, avoid disturbances. I mentioned that there will be certain disturbances, the possible disturbances. Right now I am having disturbance, which is actually coming from next door, beyond my control, and they are clearing certain materials, so that noise is coming up. You might hear that. So I have no place to go. Therefore, I'm doing it with less disturbance area, which has the less disturbance. So try to find areas or maybe avoid these barriers. What are the possible barriers or maybe the disturbances that will occur when you deliver speech? What are the disturbances, distractions that will occur during an online speech delivery? Can be a recorded speech or online speech. So since this is a recorded speech, I'll focus on recorded speech. Family members, now your parents and brothers and sisters, siblings will come to meet me. But sometimes without knowing, your brother or sister will come while you are delivering, while you are recording. He will come inside shouting, "Hey, what you are doing? This is so funny." Please inform your parents and your brothers and sisters, any family member, that I will be allocating this many minutes and I'll go inside this room. Please don't disturb. Please don't talk loudly, and please do not take any calls. Kindly give this 5 or 6 minutes to me to get ready and record this speech. So please inform your family members and loved ones that you are going to do this speech recording. Avoid any disturbances that will come from them. It's unintentional, but please inform them beforehand. Pets, of course, they will come and crawl and jump, do everything. You can't explain that to pets. You can just keep them away. Power cuts, there will be power cuts, but if you are using a mobile phone, that's okay. You can use it, and without any issue, you can do it. Doors and shutters, be careful. Sometimes doors and shutters will occur, will create a lot of disturbances. Be mindful on that. Phone, fixed or mobile. Sometimes phones will start ringing when you are doing a recording. Please put them in silent mode or can remove that plug. Anything you can do for that time period. Make sure that you are doing it properly. Chat windows, if you are using mobile, if these chat windows are open, FB Messenger, WhatsApp, and other pop-up screens, please turn off these network and do it proper focus. Because sometimes these things will come up and certain, you will lose the focus. That's the issue. You will lose the focus. Disturbances from outside, just like I mentioned, right, currently I'm having, you will have these mobile food vehicles, guests are coming unintentionally, and you can't tell, please go away, I'm doing a recording, but there should be someone who will manage it. So mindful of these things, and definitely you can do a great recording, much better quality recording if you are avoiding these circumstances that will create sometimes unnecessary disturbances. Please select a location with near to zero disturbance. That is the rule. Please find a location with minimum of disturbances for your recording. Tip number 7, the last one, practice beforehand. Practice, 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 because no one can succeed on their first attempt. Practicing is one of the most important things a speaker can do. Practice several times on your own before you give your speech, because knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice, said by a great novelist Anton Chekhov. So we need to practice. That is my tip number 7. Practice, practice. You can do 2 times, maybe it can be the 10th time that you are doing the recording. That is okay. Trial and error. We will not be able to do it from the very first attempt. We can do it from the third or fourth, even fifth or 10th. That can be okay, because you want to do your best. So have the visibility, have the audibility, clear all these barriers or obstacles that will come in your way, and have proper background, proper mindset, practice, and do it. Watch it. If you feel okay, this is not the way, do it again. Practice and do it again. So I have prepared a checklist for you for your benefit. So let's see what you can check on this checklist. Visibility, proper light, background, etc. as I mentioned. Audibility, devices, and whether your sound is capturing. If there's, when you move, sometimes some devices would not capture that sound, that quality. So please mindful on that. Check all equipment, whether it's working or not, the options. Speaking position, standing, and arrange your place and have proper caption in the frame of the screen, and you will be fitting into it. Position of the device and angle, because eye contact is very important. Without eye contact, you will not be able to deliver properly, and the coverage. Backup devices. Better to have a backup device. If your mobile is not working properly, try another mobile. That's okay. If your camera is not working properly, you can use the webcam. Any device that will help you to do this recording in a quality manner. 100% charged and working. Check this. Suitable location with minimum distractions, without all these external barriers and internal disturbances. Dress appropriately, as we mentioned, because that will directly impact the performance of your speech. And most importantly, practice and deliver. Perfect practice will make you perfect delivery. And I hope that you have learned something from this session, because whether you have body language, vocal variation, opening body and conclusion in your speech, to bring out the fire within, the ignition of your talent, if we are not in a position to do it properly to the camera, because we'll be sending these recordings to the judge panel, then our all effort will be in vain. So it's very important to have this checklist with you and go through this, and then you can do a great job to the camera. So thank you very much and good luck. Looking forward to seeing fabulous recorded speeches which will put judges in real trouble. Remember, put judges in real trouble. Then you will have the most satisfied delivery that you can have in your life. Wish you all the very best. Thank you. Over to you, Nepa.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Moditha Sendanayake.